What's up, guys? If you have some of these older Hondas that have the Keihin VB44s, some of the CB650s, 750, and 900s all have kind of a similar carburetor setup. I'll show you what mine looks like here so you can compare to yours. Alright, the issue I had after I completely rebuilt these carbs and learned all about them because I never really messed with them before, I was having trouble with this side of the choke flaps working properly. You know, when you work this mechanism right here, you see how they should move freely. Left and right should move freely just like this. And mine were binding and just not acting right no matter what I did. You know, I investigated the spring that a lot of people complain about, you know, the relief spring it's called. Finally got it sorted out and installed correctly, and I seriously was about to give up on it because I have tried for days in a row, you know, in solid internet research and YouTube research and just you name it. Could not find why mine was sticking. You know, on the right side it was sticking over there, or it wouldn't move at all actually. And I have no idea how, but what it turned out to be was the rod through here. I mean, I was noticing it was just, you know, like if I unscrewed all of these here on both sides, when I would rotate the rod, I'd see some movement up here, like back and forth movement. And I'm going, now how is that possible? You know, because the left side one was rotating and nothing was moving or shifting weird. So that told me that the rod itself was slightly bent or deformed. And you know, this set had been in a bike since it was new in 1981. You know, it had never been wrecked, or I think it had only been out of the bike even one time. So what that told me is that this rod, the actuator rod, was bent. So I took it out, you know, for like the 90th million time. Checked it on a really flat surface, and lo and behold, this rod was slightly bent, especially out here. And you could tell when you were rotating it in there. When you look up in here and when you would see it rotating, it was just not symmetrical perfectly. You know, it was wrong. Something was wrong with it. And so yeah, I spent a lot of time actually straightening it by hand, put it in my bench vise, you know, with my spindle holder, and just tapping it with a hammer and checking it, you know, on a very flat surface. So I would just put it on a really flat surface, and you could tell that it had a bend in it. It wasn't much, but it was enough to make it a problem. I also put this in my bench vise. You know, I've got what's called a bicycle axle holder by Park Tool, and it allows you to hold cylindrical items like this in your bench vise without messing it up. And I'll put a link down below where you can get that. Totally priceless item. Anyway, I took long strips of sandpaper, you know, like 500 grit up to 1,000 grit, and I polished the rod, you know, in my bench vise so that it was perfectly smooth. You know, nothing, no burrs, no marks, no nothing on it. And between those two things and getting this spring installed correctly and all of this installed perfectly correctly, oy, look at it, it's working. It's working now. Oh, Jesus. Seriously, I mean, I had this carburetor, you know, working on it for several days, but as far as getting it finalized and back together and figuring out that this is not correct how it was before, oh, I was about to just jump off a bridge. I was so frustrated. So yeah, I know that may not be yours. I don't know if it was something maybe wrong in manufacturing, because this bike seemed to run okay. So I really can't say how that happened. I didn't do it. You know, the previous owner, or I mean the owner of the bike didn't do it, of course. So I really can't say how in the world that happened. Anyway, I got another video about this carburetor set, you know, little tips for you, what to look for, because there's plenty of videos on how to rebuild these carbs and disassemble them and all that, but little tips that might help you, as far as tools to have and things to watch out for and whatnot. So look for the video. I'll have the link down below for that. But man, boy, I was about to throw up. It was so frustrating. Whew. Yeah, so if yours does not rotate smoothly like that, that means there's something binding. That means there's something not right. That means, that you're, you can also leave these slightly loose while you're aligning everything. Leave these screws about a quarter turn loose. Same thing up here, about a quarter turn loose while you're aligning everything and making sure everything is working properly. Same thing for the other side too. That bracket right there, you can have it about a quarter turn loose, because they could mean that the carbs are just not fully aligned perfectly. That can cause binding issues. Anyway, like I said, I'm no expert on this set. I'm just telling you what I found out. And yeah, check out our other videos. We got hundreds of videos on our channel relating to motorcycles, dirt bikes, ATVs, scooters, cars, trucks, stuff around the house. We also have eBay store, Amazon store. Look for the social media links in the description. And if our video helps you out, or any YouTube video helps you out, make sure you click the thanks button underneath the video screen and shoot them a donation, because YouTube is completely free and people go through a lot of effort to try and help others, and we do it for free. So, make sure you look for that thanks button underneath the screen. And you'll have a great day. We'll see you all later.